Hello, welcome to another techie Henley's Happy Trails video. I'm going to actually show you how we plan a trip coupling Google Maps with Allstays. And to do that, I'm literally going to plan a trip so you can see the process that we go through. I typically use three things for this. One is Google Maps, and if you haven't seen my previous Google Maps video and you're unfamiliar with Google Maps, you can check out that video after this one, or there's a link in the description, or click the I up at the top. If you are unfamiliar with Allstays and exactly what it can do, I devoted an entire video to that. And once again, the little I that just popped up at the top, also there's a link in the description to that video as well. So now that we've got that out of the way, in order to plan a trip, I use three things: Google Maps, Allstays, and your regular text document that comes with your computer. If you go onto your desktop and right-click, you'll have an option on Windows to say New, and then it has text document down here. So I have a new text document, and I'm going to plan a trip from McAllen, Texas to Fresno, California. So I just named it that way if it's in amongst other things on my website, or sorry, on my desktop, I can find that. So I'm going to go ahead and double click that and open up that text document. So back into the browser, let's start with getting directions. So I'm going to type in McAllen, Texas first. That's where I'm starting from. Now I get directions. Now I did that backwards for a reason. One, obviously I'm not starting in Fresno, California. I said I wanted to get there. But if I did that, it's going to give me directions from Fresno, California to McAllen, Texas. This little arrow right here, if you just have a simple from and to, if you click these little arrows, it will switch the destination and starting point and give you the opposite directions. So it looks like I have two routes. This long line one is an airline route, and I'm not particularly interested in that one. So it looks like I can go south around El Paso to get to California, or I can go through a northerly route through Albuquerque, New Mexico, and Flagstaff, Arizona, as opposed to El Paso and Phoenix, in order to get there. If I click this more northerly route, it will go along there. Now, I don't like to drive a huge distance in a day. I like to travel short distances and then stay the night generally in a free place. So this is where Allstays comes in. So I have my route, and I need to figure out, let's say I wanted to travel 300 miles in a day. So just like my previous video, I use the measurement tool. So I right-click and say measure distance, and it says click the map. So I'm going to click the map. And now notice I right-clicked up here and then I clicked down here. So the initial point starts where you right-clicked on the map. So I'm going to move that around. You can click each one of these points, which I explained in the previous video, and move that around. There's two ways to see the measurement. Up here where it says 204 miles, and down here where it says measure distance, it says total distance. So I said 300 miles. So I'm going to continue clicking to loosely follow the road until I get to about 300 miles. And that's about 300. So let's see what I'm close to. Well, it looks like I will have gotten out of San Antonio, Texas, and I'll be somewhere around Kerrville, Texas. So now we have the first starting point. I'm going to go back down here where my text document is and type in Kerrville, just so I know that's a starting point. And once I log into Allstays, you'll be greeted with this menu once you sign up for it. And I click on the new Pro Everything beta. Now, in my Allstays video, I talked about the fact that you had to choose the state that you were looking at. Since I made that video, or the time between I made that video and now, Allstays has updated their map software, so you don't have to choose the state. You just simply zoom in. I'm using my mouse scroll wheel to zoom in. You can click the plus and minus buttons if you're more comfortable with that. So moving down here to Texas, I know it's right outside of San Antonio from Google Maps, and right there I see Kerrville. Now, I go into detail about how to use Allstays in the Allstays video, so I'm going to quickly go through this, and I won't talk about it too much. But if I'm just going to stay the night in one place, I typically look for a Walmart or a Cracker Barrel or a truck stop. I can see zooming in very easily. There's a Walmart here. There's a Cracker Barrel. And it being the very beginning of my trip, I may not want to stay at a Cracker Barrel then. I might just do a Walmart. But I happen to know that once I get out of Texas, I won't see too many Cracker Barrels. So I'm going to click on the Cracker Barrel. That'll be my last chance to get breakfast at Cracker Barrel on this road trip. Most Cracker Barrels have places to stay. And when I click on it, it says about, and it says it has 4 RV spaces on the north side of the lot. And said they called a manager, said they'd be happy to have us. So, awesome. That'll be the first spot that I plan to stop overnight. Now, I usually just take a brief look at Allstays to see if there's other options. Say I get there and there's already 4 RVs parked overnight. That's never happened to me at Cracker Barrel, but let's say I know that there is a Walmart in Kerrville as well. And a lot of times you'll have customers that, say for this person stayed January 2017, and they said, okay, by the road farthest from the store. There were 3 other units. It was a quiet night, and then they talked about their experience. So you can kind of get an idea of what it's like to park overnight. Let's say, just for a quick example, I wasn't wanting to park overnight, and I wanted an RV park. So I can turn off fuel stops, stores and supplies, and that'll leave me with the RV parks. And if I go rate, there are no $12 and under, so let's change that to $21. There's an Elk Lodge there. Or if I go a little bit higher, 31. Looks like I have an RV park right here. 2 sites, all year, RVs only, all ages, no tent, 50-foot max. They have 30, 50 amp. So at that point, I can call them. So what do I do with my text document here? Well, in Kerrville, I will turn on stores and supplies again, and fuel and rest stops, and clear that. So let's go to, I would take the Cracker Barrel, and I just select all of that, the address, and I would copy it. Now there's 2 ways to copy. Quick little tech tip. You can hold down Control-C, and that will copy the text that's highlighted. Or you can right-click and select Copy. Whichever one's more comfortable for you. With a Mac, I believe it's Apple-C. But for everything else, Control-C copies it, and then you will paste it in your little text document here. So you can either right-click and say paste, or if you hit Control-V, as in Victor, that will paste that text right there. So I know in Kerrville, I'm stopping at a Cracker Barrel. If I was stopping at the RV park there, I would, in order to make a reservation, I would copy their name and address as well as the phone number so that I could later go back and call. So first night's going to be Cracker Barrel. We already got that. I'm going to hit File, Save, so that if something happens, I won't lose that information. So next, I'm going to take my measurement tool. I'm going to right-click and say Clear Measurement. Now I'm going to go from Kerrville. I'm going to right-click and say Measure Distance, another 300 miles. So we have 202, 236, 292. That puts me around Brownfield, which is in Texas still, because Texas is huge. We have Brownfield, Texas. So I'm going to go back to Allstays. So back over to this tab. Quick little tip. See this little magnifying glass? We hit that. I can hit Brownsville, Texas, and it'll take me to the wrong one. Brownfield. I suppose if I read it right, that usually helps. Brownfield, Texas will take me to the correct spot. So 300 miles puts me around here. So what is over here? Looks like it's going to be a pretty small town. LP looks like they have propane. And there is a Coleman City RV park. And it is free. So all year, RVs only, no tent, 45 foot, accepts big rigs, 12 pull-throughs, electric water hookups, tables. 5 nights free or leave a donation in lockbox. So I think I would probably stay there on my second night and dump my tanks and fill up with water and probably leave a donation. And you find those every once in a while. So that looks like a good spot to stop. I'm going to copy that and paste that. So my next stop would be Brownfield, Texas. So I've got stop number 2. So once again, I'll right click, clear measurement, then right click, measure distance, and move it 300 miles. There we go. Now that puts us right outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. So I probably would go the extra, 15 miles to go somewhere around Albuquerque, as opposed to staying in where it says Cedar Crest here. But let's go back to the search thing here and type in ALBUQ, Albuquerque, New Mexico. And as you can see, there's all kinds of stuff over here. That's where the turning of filters on and off comes into play. If I'm not interested in seeing fuel stops, I can turn that off, and that'll only show me stores and supplies. So considering I already had water at the last RV park that I went to, I'm simply looking for a Walmart or something like that, and it looks like I'm going to be traveling on the 40, and this one says in 2016 somebody stayed there, the security guard said it was okay, so I would probably count on that being accurate, and copy that and paste it. So as you can see, you start getting places to stop fairly quickly. So I probably don't need to go the rest of the 1,800 miles at this point. You kind of get the idea as to how it works. So at the very end, once I have my list of places that I would go, I can do one of two things. If I have a GPS unit, I can save this, and on the days that I'm taking my trip, I can open this up and find my next location. So I'd start off by sending my GPS to the Cracker Barrel, and then the next day I'd wake up and send my GPS to the to Coleman City RV Park. Obviously, I would call these call the RV parks ahead of time to see if I can schedule time to stay there. So as you can see, it works out. It makes it really easy. Other things, if it's going to be cold and I know that I'm going to want to find propane at various places, it's very easy to do that with Allstays because I can turn camping off, and I'll turn bridges and grades. So now I can see, without seeing any RV parks, I might even, and if I put stores and supplies, I should be able to come down here. No, I'll turn that off actually. And that leaves me with the LP sign under fuel stops. And so I can search for a place that I'm going to see if there are any places to fill propane using Allstays. There's also a host of other things that you can filter for in looking for places. And obviously down here, I didn't even touch on these in this video, which in the Allstays video I do. So if you wanted to learn more about how you can effectively use Allstays to help you plan your trip, check out the Allstays video. And if you're totally lost on the Google Maps, check out the Google Maps video. So that is how we couple the two to plan a trip. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If you have any questions about Allstays or about how to use Google Maps, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will get back to them and I will assist in any way that I can. Please like the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can go to henleyshappytrails.com and subscribe to our website. So anytime we have new articles about RVing tips and things, you'll get one of those. You'll get a message in your email. So thank you very much for watching, and happy trails.